Hi, it's Colleen Schmidt once again with yet another installment of Asteroids. Okay, so before I begin, once again I want to state my reference. Today I'm once again using Martha Lang Westcott's work, Orders of Light. A lot of today's work, Orders of Light, okay? So as far as visualizations of the glyphs, they would be found on my website, divinationcounseling.org, with more footnotes, if you will, regarding what the keywords are for these asteroids. So with that said, today I did something a little different. I grouped them. I think it's an easier way to learn. So I'm going to start off with the health asteroids, okay, which can be markers for those of us who do medical astrology. So these health markers are really wonderful, and there are many of them, and really I'm gonna try to keep it general. So we're gonna start off with 4 today, and they're not really differentiated in their energy. They're more something that while you're reading them, you want to see what falls with them, okay? Or as we say in Uranian astrology, where we work with dials, what axis do they fall in? So the work with these asteroids, depends on what shows up with them, okay? So we're going to take a health asteroid. If it's applied to Pluto, there could be bowel issues or lower GI problems, just for example, especially if the person already tends toward things like constipation. It could also be a health asteroid shows up with Hades, which could be pointing out that something's deteriorating, or that that there could be some bacterial issue. Okay, so again, and do these fall on ascendants, descendants, midheavens, IC, where are they falling in the chart, and do they apply to you or somebody else? But what they do is they point a finger to, we want to look at health issues, okay? So today, let's hope I'm saying it correctly, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time, because that is my downfall as a practicing astrologer. I know how to spell them, I know what they look like, but I'm always good at how to say them. Our first one is a scapula, and the second one is Askalaphus, okay, Hippocrates, Hygiea, Podalirius, and then we have our remaining asteroids, Chiron, Panacea, which I've been known to say incorrectly for a long time, so it's Panacea, and Hekate. Okay, so those are the asteroids we're going to work with today. Those are today's installments. So with that said, let's talk about the first 4, okay? Other than their health pointers, and they're telling us that maybe we want to look at a health matter, or that a health issue is what's on the horizon, that would be a scapula, Aesculapus, Hippocrates, Podalirius, okay? And the glyph for each one is basically the top portion, the top 2/3 of the medical staff glyph. The snakes around the staff. Just take the top 2/3, okay? And the each one is marked off, has a horizon, like a line in the horizon at the waist of them, that might have a letter on them. An A for Askalaphus, a P for Podalirius, and an H for Hippocrates. Okay? Then we come to Hygiea at the end of those. Okay, now Hygiea I'm doing a little separately because it's still a health pointer, but it has a bigger meaning. Hygiea is about our well-being. Okay, so you might need to, like when you think of, filthy rooms, for example, and you need to clean it up. That you're doing for your well-being. If I see this, and I have seen this in clients' charts, it can often be pointing a finger to some heavy cleaning, things that really need to be dealt with in order for a person's well-being. Clean desk, clean mind, that kind of thing. But just kind of getting rid of old things can also come under this title of Hygiea. So it's a health asteroid very much, but the health ideal is expanded, if you will. Hygiea again looks like a medical staff. Our next asteroid is Chiron. Chiron is considered medical as well, but Chiron is also alternative medicine, because Chiron is the wounded. He's like the wounded healer. Okay, so Chiron, not all the rules apply to Chiron. Now, when you see Chiron, it's also got an extension of what it means. Chiron is also turning points. Chiron is, so if it happens in your life and you come into a Chiron aspect, then you're looking at a turning point of some kind, okay? Good or bad, no judgment, just a turning point. But Chiron is a healing asteroid as well. But as a trainer, I also train people with limitations in addition to being an astrologer. And I'm always reminding people that healing is painful. And as an astrologer, let me just say this: healing is painful. So Chiron can come with tears. Chiron is that deep, deep healing. So Chiron also, you can have Chiron really strong in a chart. And what that means is that the person may not be somebody where all the rules apply. They could be different in some way. They may see themselves as different. They may actually be different via special needs or something else that would make them different. When it comes to medicine, it is always alternative medicine. If you see it in a chart of a medical chart, if you will, then it might be that the rules don't apply to that person and that there has to be an alternative route for them. Okay. But it's a wonderful asteroid. I highly recommend a good study on Chiron in and of itself. The asteroid is a small K. At least that's what it looks like to me. A small letter K. But the vertical line, the staff that goes straight down, would have a disc at the bottom. And that would be the glyph for Chiron. So we're going to move on to Panacea. And Panacea is great because if you're doing any kind of medical work, you're going to look for Panacea. Panacea is your cure. It's your solution. It's your fix. Now, it doesn't have to only apply to medical. So believe it or not, it applies to all areas of your life and all circumstances. And if you're looking at a scenario, this is your fix. This is your solution. And that's the key word for Panacea. The glyph looks like the clef at the beginning on a music when you're reading a sheet of music. It's like an open-ended, instead of an S, it's more like a P. So it's like a weird P, a weird font P, maybe with a flag as a tail on it. Panacea again is your solutions. Our last asteroid, another favorite of mine, doing two favorites, Chiron and Hekate. Hekate is wisdom and intuition. She is, in mythology, birth and death, particularly birth. She oversees birth. So she does apply to the medical concept of my little theme today. But here, she's also owns your dreams and your gut intuition. People say, listen to your gut. It could be an intuitive moment when your gut is trying to tell you something and it doesn't seem to strike up with what you're seeing in front of you. Listen, that's Hekate. Hecate's wisdom, okay? It's that deep inner wisdom accumulated through life, or many lives, depending on what you believe. So Hekate is, of course, a moon as a glyph with a cross. It's a weird cross. It's the shaft of the cross is in front, where one of the arms actually covers like a roof, a protection, if you will. And that's what I think Hekate is. She's protection. She's protecting us, the inner us. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed our installment. I hope you continue watching. And more than that, I really hope you're turned on by the asteroids and that you'll continue reaching out and using them in your work. The detail they bring is incredible. And I can tell you that my own clientele loves that I'm an astrologer that uses asteroids. It really has helped my work. So have a great day and take care and hope to see you again. Bye-bye for now.